Hello, Professor Lee. My name is Jonathan Perez, and this is my final project presentation, and let us begin. So the identification of the organization. The name of the company is JP Morgan Chase. Our mission is to enable more people to contribute to and share in rewards of a growing economy. There will be a total of 7 positions available. There are 2 types of positions available. Of the 7 positions available, 5 are associate bankers and 2 are personal bankers. Next is workforce planning. JP Morgan currently has a good status quo of its labor and supply demand. The company is maintaining the employment level as it needs to be. JP Morgan has had an average of 250 employees, give or take, and as of now, JP Morgan labor supply is equal to its demand. However, if the supply exceeded the demand or vice versa, actions would have to be taken to appropriate the situation. If the supply exceeded the demand, JP Morgan could begin to lay off workers that can be considered liabilities to the company, as well as unqualified. They could do a hiring freeze and stop filing open positions for quite some time and use employees already in the company, such as transferring roles to fill the most needed responsibilities without bringing in new people. Now, if the demand exceeded the supply, the company could as well do promotions, transfers, and demotions. Overtime would be an option for existing workers to work extra hours with proper monetary incentive, of course. And next is job analysis. The title of the positions, again, are associate banker and personal banker. The current occupant is the candidates, and the positions will report to the branch manager of said branch. There are no subordinate positions. The expected outcomes are to build necessary rapport with clients to have lasting relationships with Chase. The activities are answering questions in person or on telephone and referring customers to other bank services if necessary. They will cross-sell bank products by answering inquiries, informing customers of new service and product promotions, ascertaining customers' needs, and directing customers to branch representatives. They would attend and participate in meetings to meet monthly, quarterly, and yearly quotas, such as customer accounts and customer satisfaction. The competencies are to have knowledge, math skills, financial skills, patience, emotional intelligence, verbal communication, people skills, pay attention to detail, be a team player, and is able to follow up with the customers. For recruitment, the strategy that I would use would be spread our recruiting message and marketing our job offerings through diverse and selective array of sources. The title, the positions being associate banker and personal banker. The sources I'll be using to find the applicants are employee referrals, job fairs, and internet job banks. Chase is already doing that, and since we already have a good start on that, we can implement even more information on that. The recruiting message would be, we are pleased to offer you the position of associate banker and personal banker. As a member of the team, your contributions will be invaluable and we continue to drive our business forward. Please review the details of your employment offer and respond to the opportunity. For organizational issues, we will go over the previous work experience to see how they performed in the previous jobs and if they were fired and are left for some odd reason. Environmental issues we will go over with them are COVID-19 policies, robbery procedures, bank procedures when interacting with clients, just in case anything were ever happen. For regulatory issues, we will go over family leave, sick leave, and COVID-19 leave, retirement, etc. For the selection process, I plan on using word of mouth for recruitment. Employees such as personal relationships and private bankers can offer referrals to their peers for the branches or Chase in general, considering at times the bank is shorthanded on employees. Job fairs can help when it comes to a mass number of applicants. Chase would pay a fee to send representatives to pre-screen candidates and collect resumes in order to see who is best qualified for the job. It could be considered a mini interview in some ways, in which we would weed out the less qualified candidates. And last but not least, we could also do internet job banks. This is because they're very essential for companies looking to fill in positions as fast as possible. However, with this option, there would be a mass number of applicants, and that would be a far more than job fairs. This selection method will go with the selection method we'll go with is multiple hurdle approach, considering to get to the next step, the candidate would have to complete the prior step. There would be interviews. There are both face-to-face and virtual interviews, just to ensure that we are following the COVID-related policies and procedures. Some of the questions we will have is like, why work at Chase? Describe a time that you dealt with a difficult customer. Tell me about yourself, and do you have customer experience? And the environmental issues again would be go over with the candidate and her employee about COVID-19 policies and bank procedures. Legal issues would be family leave, sick leave, COVID-19 leave, etc. Organizational issues we go through would be over the previous work experience to see how they performed in the previous jobs and if they were ever fired for any reason. Next is onboarding. The onboarding process to become an associate banker and personal banker is pretty simple. The candidate will have an interview with a recruiter for the position. They then will have an interview with the recruiter, and during the interview, they will be asked about their experience with the customer with their customer service and banking. They then go through the compliance, clarification, culture, and connection that the company is expecting out of them, just to ensure that they're following they're meeting the proper quotas that the company is expecting out of the potential candidates. For performance management, what I would do to fix would go with the reward system, and that would be to encourage orders that are based on protecting the candidates and helping them improve within the company. Although this may cause conflict with the superiors, it will allow greater ethics and loyalty amongst the subordinates. There should be a common agreement and mutually beneficial relationship between superior and subordinate. We'll make sure the feedback is given on some sort of pattern, such as monthly, quarterly, yearly, etc., and we make sure to monitor their progress. For the evaluation stage, we would go with the subordinates to see how they improved and what they needed to, and to see if they have done anything extra that may be mutually beneficial for both, either for them and the company. For compensation, I'll make sure to use the job analysis to determine the hourly pay and salary. Associate bankers and personal bankers are depending on the work that they're given and the responsibilities they're required to complete. To keep internal equity, I will keep $35,000 salary and $17 an hour for the associate bankers for doing so, because we are already providing an above average salary other than our competitors. Our competitors are providing around $16 an hour and or lower for associate bankers. To be even more competitive, I would up the salary for associate bankers as a strategy. I would increase their pay from $17 an hour to $18 to $19 an hour. Career management. Career mapping is the best way an organization can manage careers. Career mapping is a tool that managers and HR professionals can use during career planning discussions when employees are career mapping. Career maps help employees think strategically about the career paths and how to meet their career goals within the organization rather than to leave it and to move ahead. We have to remember that there are 3 steps to career mapping, and they include self-assessment, individualized career map, and exploring other opportunities. And we'll do this all to implement to the potential candidates, just to make sure that they're moving at a proper pace to the proper next step that they would like to in the level of management, or if they want to move up to some other type, if they would want to move up in the company in some other formal way other than management. Last but not least is retention and turnover. The retention plan would be to follow the compensation and reward strategy, considering it could tailor pay based on employee performance and worth, which would be a fiscal form of motivation. I believe it would be because majority of candidates believe that pay should be based on, again, one's performance. We will also have to remember that there are 4 steps to develop a retention management plan. And is the turnover a problem for us? How should we proceed? Implementation, evaluation, and determine whether turnovers are problematic in our enterprise. We have to conduct a turnover analysis. An effective turnover analysis examines the 3 questions: how many people are leaving, the turnover rate, who is leaving, and what are the relative costs and benefits of our current turnover. We will do all this when evaluating employees and candidates to make sure that we're having a proper level of retention and our level of turnover is where it's needed to be at. Overall, that's my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, Professor Lee, and I can say have a wonderful day. Take care.